From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And it is 5 o'clock here on your Thursday morning. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
Lauren, good morning. I'm Rafael Sanchez, and here are your headlines on this October the 1st. Flu season is officially here. Now the rush to get you vaccinated is underway this morning, where you can go to get your shot for free.
State health officials are offering some guidance for how you can have a safe and healthy Halloween, what you should consider before taking your little ghosts and goblins trick-or-treating.
And helping a neighborhood thrive, the plan to bring access to money and other resources to a community that many say was left behind.
And we want to thank you for joining our team here on Good Morning Indiana. It is a brand new month, if you can believe it, October the 1st. And guys, I have a little thing I need to admit. I did kick on the heat right before I left this morning for the guys at the house. It was just a little bit chilly, I thought.
How about
I think
a
it said
scarf?
67. Yeah.
Did you wear that scarf in the car?
Yes, I did. It's early, Raphael.
Todd Clausen, help us out. Well, if you're going to admit things, I'm also going to admit this. I forgot to power up the equipment this morning, so Master Control, the people that control the signal here at WRTV, called me at 4:55 saying, hey, are you going to show up this morning? I was like, where are you?
He's here.
I'm the opposite of Lauren. I slept with the window open last night. And just bundle up.
Come on.
The heat has not been on yet in the Clausen household. Outside right now, temperatures are in the 40s, 44 in Lafayette right now, 45 in Indy, 49 in Bloomington. The skies are clear and the winds have calmed. That's one of the reasons why we've cooled off so quickly here throughout the overnight hours. And off to our west, you do notice some clouds and there are a few spotty showers, and these will pinwheel through the area as we work our way throughout the course of the day today. So today is one of those days very similar to what we've seen the past few days, when we start off almost completely sunny, and then as the sun gets higher above the horizon, you start to build in partly cloudy skies, and then eventually you go mostly cloudy and just filter the sunshine in at times throughout the afternoon hours. Temperatures running on the cool side will be right around 61 degrees at 5 p.m. after a high temperature today that'll be right around 64 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a look right now at traffic up on the north and northeast side of town. This is I-465 and Allisonville Road, and down below you can see a flashing light there on your screen. So what happened was, in the overnight hours in the westbound direction, we did have a semi crash. This was a deadly crash. A driver there hit a power pole, took it down. So that, even though the crash happened hours ago, we know that they're still assessing the damage there to the power pole. So just keep that in mind as you're traveling out there this morning. You can still get by, as you can see by some cars there on your screen, but just expect to slow down as you see those flashing lights. Raphael?
Lauren, this morning we have more details on the impact of the pandemic on our state. 20 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths in our state to 3,405. Another 227 Hoosiers are believed to have died with the virus based on their clinical diagnosis. 965 new cases of COVID-19 were also reported. More than 120,000 Hoosiers so far have tested positive for the virus. Taking a closer look at the numbers, State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach says while Hoosiers under 30 previously accounted for the most number of cases, we're starting now to see those numbers sort of level off. Dr. Bach also said now we're seeing a rise in cases in Hoosiers between the ages of 40 and 70. Now, when we look at the colleges and universities in our state, some campuses are reporting more than 1,000 cases of the virus. Now, this graph you see here shows the total number of COVID-19 cases, including both students and employees, from the university dashboards. While Indiana University Bloomington and Ball State University up in Muncie have more than 1,000 cases, the recent number of new cases, here's the good news, is decreasing. Governor Holcomb attributes that to the universities taking recommendations from health officials very seriously.
And I've been very proud to see in some university towns, they're reacting very quickly to this ripple effect, and they're clamping down. And this is not a joke. This is not, they're not in denial. And so those decisions to make sure that they're addressing folks who are flaunting or ignoring good recommendations and advice that keeps those rates low, I think those will serve as examples.
We have a much more detailed look at the mitigation efforts on campuses statewide, as well as links to several college and university COVID dashboards up and running right now on our website, WRTV.com.
It is 5:05. As you begin to make those Halloween plans, Indiana Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Box is offering guidance for Halloween celebrations.
And I'm not trying to be the Grinch or maybe appropriately the witch, more appropriately, the witch who ruined Halloween. But I don't want COVID-19 to take that role either.
Well, the state is following the CDC's recommendations, putting Halloween activities into 3 categories. There's lower risk, moderate risk, and higher risk. Celebrations like just with one family in your own home, low risk. Traditional trick-or-treating and crowded indoor costume parties are considered higher risk. Here's some key things to remember, according to Dr. Box.
A costume mask is not a substitute for a cloth mask. A costume mask should not be used unless it's made of 2 or more layers of breathable fabric that covers the mouth and nose and doesn't leave gaps around the face. Instead, consider using a Halloween-themed mask. And if you're going to a haunted house or any other scary event where screaming might occur, you should stay even more than 6 feet away from others who aren't in your family to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19.
If you may have been exposed to COVID or you have it, or you know someone who has it, Dr. Box stresses that you should not participate in any in-person Halloween events, and that includes passing out candy to trick-or-treaters.
So here we go. We've changed the month. As you can see, it is now Thursday, October the 1st, and health officials are now hoping that you will roll up your sleeves and get that flu shot. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with all of your options. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So we've been telling you for about a month that health professionals are worried about a possible twindemic with COVID-19 and the flu. And so they're urging everyone to get those flu shots. And so you're probably wondering, why is she standing in front of the Children's Museum? Well, that is because they are going to be giving free flu shots today for anyone who pays admission from 4 to 8. So again, today from 4 to 8, flu vaccines will be given out for free to the first 500 people who pay to visit the Children's Museum, which is just $5, something Dr. Christina Box says she wants everyone to get this season.
So this year, especially with COVID-19, we want to make sure that we have as few influenza patients in the hospital as possible. So it's a really important year to get your influenza shot.
Flu shot today?
Governor Holcomb telling Dr. Box during that press conference that he's already gotten his and wants Hoosiers to do the same. Now, Riley Children's Hospital professionals will be administering those shots today, and this is for children and adults, anyone who's not showing signs of symptoms. Of course, for children, adults will have to sign that consent form, and they want to remind you to wear loose-fitting clothing. That way you can get that shot easily into your arm. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. The time right now is 5:08. Today, we'll learn more about the new relief for hotels, restaurants, and other businesses here in Marion County. Leaders will announce the details on a hospitality industry grant program at 2 o'clock. The grants will be paid through a $7.5 million in federal COVID-19 relief funding. Marion County businesses, notably bars and clubs, have been under tighter pandemic restrictions than the rest of the state due to a much higher number of COVID cases here. And the hospitality industry in downtown Indianapolis has been hit hard by the cancellation of those major sporting events and conventions.
Good morning to Greenwood, Muncie, and Lawrence. Today, soon a new bank will be up and running in a part of the city's east side that has not had a financial institution in that area for many years. The new First Merchants Bank opens near 38th Street and Keystone later this fall. Staff say they recognize the need for a bank in the 46218 zip code. It's among the many conversations the company has had with residents. The new institution will bring several programs with a goal of helping the area grow and prosper as well.
That is a big part of that growth. It's a big part of bringing good ways for individuals to be able to save, for individuals to be able to buy their homes, to find ways to invest, and we want to be in part of the growth with them.
We're going to have a first-time homebuyer product with no money down. There's going to be grant money available and low credit scores as low as 600.
First Merchants Bank was at the center of a 2019 lawsuit from the U.S. Department of Justice accusing the bank of redlining and avoiding offering services in predominantly black areas of Indianapolis. Now, without admitting any wrongdoing, First Merchants Bank settled that lawsuit and agreed to open a full-service bank in one of the city's predominantly black neighborhoods. Meanwhile, there's a new program to help ex-offenders who need help managing their finances. The Office of Public Health and Safety, the Marion County Community Corrections, and Promise Credit Solutions, they're working together to provide credit repair and financial coaching for people who are on electronic monitoring and unemployed due to COVID-19. The program will also offer legal representation in civil court if needed. The services will be offered through the end of the year. Individuals interested must contact their case manager to apply. We are now looking at a new month, and Todd Clausen, are we looking at warmer temperatures on this new day here on Good Morning Indiana?
We are not. Temperature is going to be a little bit cooler today compared to yesterday, but yesterday's temperatures were offset about by the wind a little bit, so it felt cooler than right around 70 degrees. But today we're only going up into the low 60s for your afternoon highs. As you head to work, grab the sunglasses. Lots of sunshine to start the day. As the day goes on, though, where you'll see more in the way of clouds build in, and a temperature right around 61 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, and the potential for a few showers, I think, later on this afternoon as well. They're pretty spotty off to our west right now, and as we work our way throughout the morning, first you'll have the sunshine, as I mentioned, and then the clouds increase. I think the showers will probably be 3 o'clock onward. Should be very, very spotty here and there, but I do think they will build in. We need the rainfall. Here are the final numbers for the month of September, and exactly 3 inches below normal for Indy, a little over 3 inches in Bloomington, and just under 3 in Shelbyville. So it's very, very dry out there. We need all the rain we can get. We have some spotty showers today in the forecast. Better rain chances on Sunday. More on that weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, look forward to that, and thank you so much. Today marks 3 years since the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. This morning, how the survivors and victims are being honored.
And here's a live look right now at your commute on the southwest side of town, I-465 here near Man Road, where traffic's picking up and traveling up to speed. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up for you just after the break. Stick around. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The U.S. Senate has passed a spending bill to keep the government running through December 11th. This comes as Americans continue to struggle financially due to the ongoing pandemic and about a month before the election. The measure includes billions for a farm bailout program as well as money for pandemic food assistance programs for families. Two additions marked the only pandemic-related relief in the bill. Though we missed the midnight deadline, President Trump is expected to sign the measure today. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says that he and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi are, quote, going to give it one more serious try to pass a coronavirus aid package. House Democrats passed a $2.2 trillion stimulus relief package last week. That included another round of stimulus payments to Americans, more PPP funding, and money for the airline industry, among other things. Mnuchin's proposal is closer to $1.5 trillion. Talks between him and Speaker Pelosi will resume this morning. The House is expected to vote on a plan later today.
So, Lauren, some called it a major disaster, and now some major changes could be coming to the next presidential debate. The Commission on Presidential Debate says it's hoping to make the remaining debates less chaotic. As you may recall, Tuesday night's debate between President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden was marked with frequent interruptions from the president and both men talking over each other. Moderator Chris Wallace was visibly frustrated, and many who watched described the event, in their words, as a train wreck. The commission has not outlined exact changes, but says it wants to provide additional structure to ensure a more orderly discussion of the issues. The next debate is now scheduled for October the 15th. It will take the form of a town hall with questions from the voters.
At 5:17, 3 years ago today, the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history happened in Las Vegas. And this morning, there's some added relief for the survivors of that rampage. Wednesday, a judge approved an $800 million class action settlement. This comes months after negotiations between the victims and MGM Resort International, which owns the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. The money will be divided among the more than 4,000 victims. Back on October 1st, 2017, Stephen Powell paddock opened fire during a music festival on the Strip, killing 58 people and injuring nearly 700 others before taking his own life. Memorial ceremonies are scheduled today at several venues in Las Vegas, including a reading of the names of those killed beginning at 10:05 p.m., the time of the first shots rang out.
But today, a day of remembrance as we honor the memory of one of the survivors of the USS Indianapolis. Robert "Rob" Witzig died Tuesday evening at the age of 96. Bob was one of the few remaining Indy crew members who served aboard that ship. In recent years, he reconnected with other survivors by attending their annual reunion. The USS Indianapolis was sunk by the Japanese in 1945 in the Philippine Sea, killing hundreds. There are now 7 survivors remaining. Earlier this year, survivors Tony King and Jim Jarvis died. We thank them all for their service. Time now to check your local forecast on this Wednesday morning. And Todd, you're saying it's going to be cooler than yesterday.
Yeah, you know, yesterday we got close to 70 degrees in many locations, but we had the wind, so that made it feel a little bit cooler today. The wind won't be as much of an issue, but actual temperatures are going to be a lot cooler, probably only in the low to mid 60s for most locations. Like yesterday, though, we are starting off with mostly sunny skies this morning throughout the afternoon hours. First, the clouds will build in, and then a few spotty showers, just like we had yesterday as well. And then as soon as the sun starts to set, the clouds will start to fade away. And this happens when we have very cool air that moves in, not only at the surface, but the air is even cooler in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And when the sun comes up, it starts to help to flare up the clouds and the showers that are out there. And then once the sun sets, they fade away. So that's why we're kind of stuck in that process. And we've done that the past few days. 42 right now in Peru, 45 in Indy, it's 49 in Bloomington, and 43 is the current temperature in Greencastle. So it's a cool start to our day. The skies are completely clear here across the area. That is the good news. This morning, you'll need the sunglasses, but you notice these clouds, and these are going to pinwheel through the area. We have some spotty showers out there as well. And I think we'll flare up additional showers as we get into the peak heating of the day. And those showers, again, will be driven by the sunshine that will be out there. And here they appear as we get into mid-morning, or mid-afternoon rather, and into the afternoon and evening hours. And then they'll start to fade away as the sun starts to set. If you do see some of these showers, they could put down a quick little downpour here or there, and that should be just about it as they move through. Highs today only right around 61 in Logansport, as well as Marion, 63 in Frankfurt. Temperatures in the metro area right around 63 to 65 degrees as you work your way into Martinsville, and then slightly warmer with a little lower shower chance here in southern locations, 64 in Bloomington and Seymour right around 67 degrees. This evening, as I mentioned, the clouds will thin, turning partly cloudy, and then eventually mainly clear as we fall into the 50s. And then for the day tomorrow, I don't think temperatures probably get out of the 50s tomorrow, with skies that will start off partly cloudy and then once again turn mostly cloudy across the area. So Friday is a cool day for us at 58 degrees. And then on Saturday morning, we're looking at a temperature of 39 degrees. It's probably our first opportunity to pick up some patchy frost across the area. 39 is in the city. Outlying areas could even be a little bit cooler. And then for your weekend, 61 on Saturday with that frosty start. And then on Sunday, we'll bring in the chance of some light scattered showers that'll be making their way through the area. It's not a big storm system, but it is the best opportunity in your 7-day planning forecast for some rain. And then next week, a gradual warming trend as we head into Wednesday with a high of 73.
Todd, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads. This is I-65 near 38th Street on the northwest side. Traffic in this area is moving along smoothly northbound and southbound. No crashes to slow down your commute.
It's great. It's great to be able to go home as a family of 3 and start a new adventure.
So if 2020 has you feeling somewhat overwhelmed, our next story will give you hope. The touching homecoming a local family is sharing only with WRTV. On this Wednesday, October the 1st, you're watching WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Raphael, this morning a 3-week-old baby is sleeping in his own crib at home with his family for the first time after an unexpected stay at the neonatal intensive care unit.
And so Lauren Maxon's mother had a completely normal pregnancy, but he was born with a congenital heart defect. It's called hypoplastic right heart syndrome. Doctors say he will need a few surgeries, but otherwise will be able to live a normal and healthy life.
The day before his surgery, when he was transferred, and the day of his surgery were just complete chaos, because from each half hour increments changed what was happening and what we were expected to do, and that was a lot to take in, but we just took it every hour by hour, every minute by minute, and we just get through it together, and that's kind of our family motto.
That is a great family motto. Ascension St. Vincent says that 1 in 100 babies in Indiana are born with congenital heart defects. So this family situation is something that many Hoosier families experience. We wish all the very best to Maxon's family. And Todd, I think Maxon's family needs some sunshine today. Can we give him a little sun today?
Definitely this morning. We'll have plenty of sunshine in the forecast, Raphael. As the day goes on, just like the past few days, though, we will start to bring in a little more in the way of cloud cover. Most of the warming today will take place while we have the sunshine. So that's throughout the morning hours. You see by the noon hour, our temperatures up to right around 60 degrees. As we go into the rest of the afternoon, we start to build in cloud cover, and as those clouds come in, we'll kind of cap the temperatures off right around 61 to 63 degrees, depending on where you are. And some of you, especially in northern locations, I do think you build in a few isolated showers this afternoon as well. The time now is 5:27. This is Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
Well, the jacket is needed once again this morning because we are waking up to temps in the low 40s. Now at 5:30, Todd tells us when the thermometer could dip even lower.
Plus, the calendar has changed to October, and that means that flu season is now here, working for you. The event happening today to help ease the flu's impact on you and your family.
And a big shake-up to Brickyard weekend at IMS. This morning, the changes track and NASCAR officials are making for next year. Good Morning Indiana continues right now.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And thanks for joining our team here at 5:30. I'm Lauren Casey, and my friends Rafael Sanchez and Todd Clausen joining me early this morning. Rafael, if you haven't stepped outside yet, it's pretty chilly here. Right now it says it's 44 here in Indianapolis.
I am so way behind. I thought today was Wednesday. It is Thursday.
Yes.
We're getting close to the weekend, Todd Clausen, and I really need to walk outside and get some fresh air because what's going on?
Yeah,
well, you're going to tell us, right?
You walk outside, it'll wake you up pretty quick, Raphael. I guarantee that. It's a cool morning out there, running a little bit cooler than it was at this point yesterday with clear skies. 42 in Peru right now, 49 in Bloomington, 44 in Lafayette, and Muncie's at 50 degrees. The skies are clear. The wind has come way down from where it was yesterday. Yesterday we had those real gusty winds. They subsided here throughout the overnight hours, so that's the good news. Visibility not an issue, as you can see well up to the north as you look from downtown from atop of the Salesforce Tower. As far as your satellite radar picture goes, we have the clear skies right now, and that's still going to be the case throughout the morning hours. But as we go throughout mid-morning onward into the afternoon, we'll build in cloud cover, and then we'll build in a couple of these showers that you see in Iowa as they'll swing through. Once again today, the further north you are, a little better chance of picking up some of these scattered showers as they move through compared to southern locations. But everybody sees an increase in cloud cover throughout the afternoon. So the first half of the day is the brightest, most sunny part of the day with temperatures in the 40s through about 10 a.m. And then eventually we'll start to warm up into the low 60s for afternoon highs. I'll talk more about the showers that we're expecting later on this afternoon in more detail coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out on the roads. This is actually a look at I-70 near County Road 700 West to our east. You can see traffic there is traveling smoothly eastbound and westbound. No issues to slow you down. So taking you up to I-69 and State Road 13 for your commute if you're traveling in from Madison County. Good morning to you. No problems for you this morning. And Hamilton County drivers traffic is traveling up to speed on I-69 as you're heading towards Indianapolis. We'll continue to monitor your roads, let you know if there are any trouble spots you need to avoid this morning. Raphael?
Lauren, new overnight, a semi-driver has died following a crash on the city's northeast side. Here are the details as we have them right now. This crash happened around 11 o'clock on westbound I-465 near Allisonville Road. Police say the driver went off the interstate, causing the truck to roll over and hit a light pole.
The semi truck, when it rolled over it went off the interstate, it struck a high-rise utility pole, for lack of better terminology, at which time it damaged that. So we have IPL en route to assess that, to see if they're going to have to replace the pole or what kind of modifications they're going to have to make.
This remains a developing story. The driver's name has not been released, pending family notification.
In Raphael, we still have some lanes closed for a cleanup at that location, so keep that in mind as you're traveling near Allisonville Road this morning. Let's turn now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and the impact it's having here in Indiana. State health officials report the Hoosier State rounding out September with 20 more coronavirus-related deaths. That's the same number reported on Tuesday. Since the pandemic began, more than 3,400 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. State health officials also report 965 new COVID-19 cases. Since the pandemic began, more than 120,000 coronavirus cases have been reported here in the state of Indiana.
And Lauren, this morning we are digging deeper into a troubling trend that we're now seeing in our state because of COVID-19. Hospitals across Indiana are admitting more COVID patients, and the state's daily rolling average of positivity rate is creeping upwards once again. Now healthcare workers are concerned about what's to come this winter. Frontline healthcare workers are worried that people are getting complacent now that we are moving into stage 5 of the state's reopening. A state health commissioner, Dr. Christina Bach, says the increase is not due to Indiana moving into stage 5. She says those being hospitalized now likely contracted the virus 2 weeks ago before the state moved from stage 4.5.
They are all reporting increased numbers of cases in the hospital. They are all doing extremely well and did not feel like they needed anything additional from the State Department of Health at this point in time, but know that we're here to help at any point in time that they would need it.
A Franciscan health nurse tells us their numbers have continued to track downward since the peak in April and May. This morning, parents can now look at coronavirus data for their child's school. The state launched the school dashboard on Wednesday. Dr. Bach says the dashboard is still a work in progress and is still being tweaked. The dashboard does not include career centers or juvenile facilities. Dr. Bach says the dashboard available now on the state's coronavirus website should not be seen as a comprehensive list.
And Raphael, we are now in flu season, and that means that we need to get your family prepared. At 5:36, health experts are telling us that you need to get a flu shot this year, especially in this pandemic. So WRTV's own Kelsey Anderson is joining us from a really fun place this morning to talk about how they can help you and your family prepare. Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. So we're live this morning at the Children's Museum, which is actually where you can get a flu shot today. So for the first 500 people who are here from 4 to 8 today, you can get that flu shot. And I'm here this morning with Adam Kars. He's the Infection Prevention Director. So tell us why it's so important that people get their flu shots this season.
Yeah, flu is responsible for causing thousands of illnesses and death every year. And some of those illnesses can get severe enough to cause hospitalization and have other challenges associated with it. So flu vaccine every year is very important to receive that, as the flu strains do change each year. So do the type of flu vaccine strains that are developed as well. So prevention is the biggest key to preventing flu for the flu season, as well as in the midst of COVID, which causes severe illness that we don't have a vaccine for yet. It's very important that we try to prevent other vaccine preventable illnesses. So we're preventing transmission of all illness and not taxing hospitals and doctors' offices with preventable disease, so we can treat those that may be affected by COVID.
Okay, perfect. Well, as you can see, it's very important that we get those flu shots this year. And as you can see here at the Children's Museum, they do have X's throughout the building to show you that you need to social distance and show you how far you need to be from one another. I've also seen arrows showing you which ways to go in and out. Places aren't just come and go as you please now. There's exits only. And so again, those flu shots are today from 4 to 8, and it is for the first 500 people, but you must get your tickets ahead of time. And you can do that by going to childrensmuseum.org. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
This morning, a lawsuit has been filed by the. Let's think about this situation involving a pond situation that involved a death. We're looking more into the story. Of course, a missing man has died after diving into a pond. Police are trying to figure out what happened in this situation. We'll have more on this developing story here on WRTV.
Raphael, this morning, a lawsuit filed by the Satanic Temple alleges an advertising company unfairly refused to display their billboards. The billboard promotes a ritual offered by the group to help people bypass abortion rules. The Massachusetts group filed the lawsuit against Lamar Advertising in Arkansas State Court for religious discrimination. The Satanic Temple says Lamar refused to display 8 billboards in Indiana and Arkansas. Lamar has not yet responded to a request for comment. The time right now is 5:39. Raphael, the Brickyard 400 has been part of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's annual calendar now for 27 years.
So NASCAR will be back in 2021, but taking a new twist on its running at the Brickyard. IMS now announcing a doubleheader Brickyard weekend next summer. NASCAR and IndyCar will both run on the Speedway's road course on August 14th and 15th. The two series races race together for the first time here on the weekend of July the 4th. But the Xfinity Series went on the road course, and that race was a big hit. So NASCAR has decided to move the Cup cars there next summer. Drivers from both series are now buzzing with some excitement about the new combo.
It's about putting on the race that the fans want to see. And so obviously change is going to happen anytime you open it up for that form. And I'm okay with that. That's what makes our world turn, is our race fans.
There's no reason to work against each other. These sports can help lift motorsports together. And hopefully that can happen. And a weekend like this is a great opportunity to do so.
And so another race weekend kicks off in Speedway later today with practice and qualifying for the Harvest GP. Now, tickets are also still available for Friday and Saturday's IndyCar races on the road course. Tickets for today are $15. They go up to $25 and $35 for race day. Up to 10,000 fans will be allowed each day. All tickets this year are digital with mobile and print-at-home options available for you and your family. It is a great Thursday morning here in central Indiana. Todd, I have yet to step outside of my living room, but I'm going to take a light jacket, I take it, with the temperatures now at 44 degrees.
Yeah, you may even want that medium weight jacket, Raphael. It is cool this morning, but you have to get used to it. In fact, the coolest temperature we have in our extended forecast is going to be on Saturday morning when we could be in the 30s across the area. Not quite that cool this morning with clear skies, but you notice these clouds, these showers, these are going to pinwheel through the area later on this afternoon. From Indianapolis to the north, the coverage of these showers is probably going to be a little bit greater than southern locations, but everything you do see today is going to be very, very light. As far as temperatures go, yesterday we were closer to 70 degrees. Highs today going to be within a couple degrees of each other. Low 60s to the north, mid 60s as you work your way from Bloomington over towards the Columbus area, where we should see our high temperature get up to 66 degrees.
Todd, thank you. The travel industry, we know, was among the hardest hit by the coronavirus pandemic. Just ahead this morning, when one airline says it's going to have to cut thousands of workers' jobs. And let's take you down to Johnson County. Good morning to you here in Greenwood. This is a live picture at your commute on I-65 near Main Street. You can see traffic there is traveling up to speed. A little bit of freezing there in our camera, but everything is moving along just fine if that's part of your commute at this early hour. We'll continue to keep you updated, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. It is 5:45 here on your Thursday, and the dust has settled on the first presidential debate, but the fallout continues this morning. ABC's Andrew Dimbert is in Washington right now with the changes the debate commission is considering going forward.
47-year period.
This morning, fallout from what's being called the worst debate in American history.
Radical left. Will you shut up, man? Listen.
President Trump called it fun.
I thought the debate last night was great. We've gotten tremendous reviews on it.
But some lawmakers from both sides of the aisle say President Trump went too far with the insults and interruptions.
Just don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Now, both candidates hit the campaign trail running. Trump with a signature rally claiming victory.
The verdict is in. all of us won big last night.
Joe Biden kicking off a train tour in Cleveland, Ohio, calling Trump's performance a national embarrassment.
We can't take 4 more years of this president.
Then on to Pennsylvania, telling voters Trump is trying to distract from the coronavirus pandemic.
He thinks that if he just yells louder and louder, throws out lie after lie after lie, he'll get his way. He thinks we'll forget.
Meanwhile, the president is left trying to clean up this troubling debate moment where he did not outright condemn a white supremacist group when asked to do so.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
The extremist group adopting that quote, "stand back and stand by," as a new slogan.
White supremacists, they clearly love you and support you. Do you welcome that?
I want law and order to be a very important part. It's a very important part of my campaign.
You denounce them. Do you denounce
I've always denounced any form of any of that. You have to denounce.
And now the debate commission is planning changes at the next 2 debates, promising to use what it calls additional tools to maintain order. And while Trump touts the debate as a big win in his re-election bid, a Joe Biden campaign official tells ABC News they raised $21.5 million online Wednesday, their best day of the race so far. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
The federal prison in Terre Haute now preparing for its 8th execution this year alone after seeing none for nearly 20 years. The Justice Department has scheduled Orlando Hall to be put to death this upcoming November the 19th. Hall helped kidnap and kill a Texas teenager, Lisa Renee, back in 1994. Prosecutors say that Renee's death was to get revenge on her brothers for botching a $5,000 marijuana deal. Executions have stepped up under the Trump administration.
Well, if you have a Ford parked in your driveway this morning, you'll want to listen up to this. That automaker recalling more than 700,000 vehicles. Ford says backup cameras can suddenly go dark or show distorted images. The recall covers most 2020 models of the F-Series trucks. It also includes the 2020 Explorer, Mustang, Transit, Expedition, Escape, Ranger, and Edge. The Lincoln Nautilus and Corsair also included. The dealers will replace the cameras at no cost to the owners. The recall is expected to start on November the 7th. Back here at home, we want to get a look at our forecast for our Thursday. And Todd, what can we expect as we're waking up this morning?
You know, clear skies this morning and cool temperatures across the area as we have really settled into these below normal temperatures in this extreme fall-like feel. In fact, we're running a little bit below normal as far as lows go and afternoon highs. Normally, we should still be getting up to 71 degrees this time of year. We won't really get close to that at all throughout the day today. 45 is the current temperature. Look at the feel-like temperature, though, for 41, and that's due to this wind that's out of the south right now at 8 miles per hour. So the wind is really a lot less and calmed down since it was where it was yesterday, especially during the afternoon hours. But nonetheless, we're still dealing with cool temperatures. Richmond just down to 41 degrees there, 45 in Indy, 42 is the current temperature in Greencastle and Lafayette, currently sitting at 44 degrees. The next couple hours, temperatures will drop another couple degrees as the sun doesn't come up until well after 7:30 now. 44 will be your 8 a.m. temperature, but then once the sun does come up, that's when we'll see temperatures warm quite quickly throughout the morning hours with plenty of sunshine. We're starting off clear this morning, just like we've done the past few days, but the clear skies will pretty quickly give way to some clouds throughout the afternoon hours, and then eventually some showers will start to work their way in here as well as we get into probably mid to late afternoon. All the showers will be pretty light in nature and pretty spotty, but nonetheless, they will be moving through, and it's welcomed. We need some rainfall, but this is not going to be a steady rainfall. It's not going to put a big dent in the abnormally dry conditions across the area, but we'll take what we can get at this point, especially during the middle of the week. Mostly cloudy skies until sunset, and that's when the clouds will start to clear out. Here's what it looks like on TrueCast as the showers start to build in. Everybody will have the threat of showers, but it's northern locations where the coverage will be a little bit greater throughout the afternoon and into the early evening hours. And then as the sun starts to set, the clouds will start to fade away And as the clouds fade away, so do the showers. This evening, temperatures will cool off into the 50s. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, it's in the mid-40s, very similar to today. But the problem is tomorrow, a little more in the way of cloud cover as we start our day. And as a result, high temperatures will only be right around 59 degrees. But once the skies clear, Friday night heading into Saturday morning. So again, these are your low temperatures, not tomorrow, but Saturday morning going into the 30s in almost all locations. So patchy frost will be a possibility for us. And then the rest of your weekend, 61 on Saturday, not bad with the sunshine. Sunday, it's a cool day. Temperatures in the mid-50s with rain showers in the forecast off and on throughout the day. As we start next week, though, temperatures do moderate from the 60s back above normal by the time we get to Wednesday with mostly sunny skies.
All right, Todd, thank you. We do have an update on that situation we've been monitoring up on I-465 near Allisonville Road. That's where we had a cleanup from an earlier deadly semi-crash here in the westbound lanes. We did have some lanes blocked. We can tell you it looks like everything has reopened at this early hour. So that's good news if you do have to travel through that area. No major delays to slow down your commute. Raphael.
So, Lauren, thousands of jobs are on the line, and this morning the clock is ticking in Washington to throw the airline industry a lifeline. You see, American Airlines says it plans to furlough 19,000 employees later today, but that's only a fraction of the jobs that could be on the line. American Airlines CEO says the airline has no choice but to make cuts after attempts to get more federal money failed. On Wednesday, Congress and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin were considering a multi-trillion-dollar stimulus package, including $25 billion in help for the nation's airlines.
At 5:52, researchers say they found evidence of salty ponds under the surface of Mars. Italian scientists searched the subsurface of the red planet with an instrument on the European Space Agency's Mars Express spacecraft. They say it confirmed lakes they already knew existed in several other smaller patches of water. The ponds are different sizes, and strips of dry land separate them from the main lake. Scientists believe that this once again raises the possibility that there may be life on Mars.
So, Lauren, this story is not about us, but some humans often pick up bad habits from each other, everywhere but on Good Morning Indiana. But apparently this is extending to parrots. Coming up, the bad habits that these birds picked up that now has them banned from seeing each other. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Some foul-mouthed parrots at a British zoo, Raphael, are in big trouble for swearing at people.
So 5 African gray parrots were donated from separate owners, right, to Lincolnshire Wildlife Park within the same week. And then things got ugly, right? The birds, they quarantined together, but the staff says the parrots were soon swearing and cursing at each other, and then they started cursing at the visitors who started cursing back. The zoo removed the parrots from public view so children would not hear all the profanity. The staff is hoping the birds' language will now get more family-friendly now that they've been separated. My question is, and I need to do some research on this, how did the birds learn the language? How did they learn all those vulgarities? I don't know.
Someone was the bad apple and taught the others. It's 2020. We're all sick of being stuck together.
Right? Who knows? Picking up bad habits there. All right. Outside right now, we have our first 30-degree temperature of the morning. It's in Logansport. You're at 39 degrees, 45 in Indy. It's 49 in Muncie. In Kokomo, you're at 42 degrees. So the jacket obviously definitely needed. Radar is completely quiet this morning across the area. As we go throughout the day, though, I do think we'll build in some spotty showers. We start with sunshine, though. It's a bright start to our day, and just like we've seen the past few days, we'll build in the afternoon clouds, and then eventually some of those clouds will produce some spotty showers across the area. Any showers you do see will be very light. Your high temperature today, that'll be getting up to 64 degrees. The time now is 5:58. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.